Hello. Welcome to the most YouTubey of all the shows that we do at the Video Content Factory. We're calling this one Cup of Tea, and this is going to be basically our go-to YouTube show. This is going to be the one that we do very much just kind of looking in the camera and giving our observations about different things. So this should be a fun one for me because I have a lot to talk about and a lot of different things to say. So this will go between business-oriented content, people that I'm following, things I'm listening to, maybe a little less on the camera side, but you never know. I'm just gonna kind of keep this one open. As you can see, this is one of our newest studios that we're recording in. This one's in the office. So this is actually not a Young Junk facility and not the warehouse, but part of the office that we reconverted to be our little YouTube studio. But I'm just gonna kind of pontificate here, different things, and have a cup of tea with you, which is why this is called Cup of Tea. That's good tea. As far as an introduction, I don't really know that introduction episodes matter or are worthwhile because you never know when someone is going to start viewing you and start viewing your content. So for me, I think the most important thing is just to get going with whatever content you're doing and make it in a way that's very easy to come to. So this is all set up where we can do all the lights kind of with one click on the phone. But I think when you're setting out to make content and things of that nature, you know, it's easy because we are a video production company to be able to do this and have all of this extra stuff. But I really like the idea of you need a place to just point and shoot and be able to just generate content on the fly. The most important thing to this style of content is just making sure that your audio is good enough, your picture's good enough, and that you're lit properly and that it's highly repeatable. I would actually say highly repeatable is the most important thing because that's really, you know, the trick is just keep being consistent and keep making things, even if it's just you talking to a camera sometimes. All you need to do is start going and start making stuff so that the algorithm rewards you just for being someone who makes stuff. You don't need an editor, you don't need the works to get started, but you're gonna hit a tipping point. So a lot of people will talk to me about this of, you know, why are we talking so much about our process and what we do, and why are we so encouraging that people start their own channels? And it's because eventually you're gonna get sick of it. And you're going to want to elevate it to a new level and have an editing team that's by your side and have someone else kind of prepping what you're going to talk about each day. So essentially, I want everyone to get started with something like this so that eventually they run into, you know, that thing that stops them from producing more. And then that's where we'll come in. But it's also just fun to go for it on the YouTube community that I've really been a fan of for many, many years. Like, I'm an actual fan of YouTube. A lot of shooters are not. A lot of shooters are film guys. There's not many that are just into YouTube, but I found myself like I'm actually fascinated with YouTube, and all the cameras and systems we bought were really the hybrid between the two. And I just think it's the best place to learn anything now. It's not really that hard to learn. I mean, it's easy to just set up your camera and your phone and start shooting and just get a little basic cheapo light and then a little cheap microphone, and then you'll get to the end of that where you'll be like, okay, my creativity has outshined my tool. Now I need a new tool. This coming from a guy who buys way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. We have so many tools and whatnot, and I also refuse to get rid of any of it because I find a use for it. This entire little studio set that we have right now is stuff that we haven't used in a year, and it was here, and now I'm able to capitalize on this. I'm really curious on this show, to kind of start a dialogue with you and hear what your thoughts are, what you think about us, what questions you'd like from a, you know, professional video production company. You know, we have multiple shooters, multiple editors, and we're all, you know, open to hearing questions and things like that. I'm more than happy to answer anything on your journey, no matter how small or how large it is. And I just really want this to be a place for you to come and, I'm not going to say enjoy a cup of tea, but essentially enjoy a cup of tea. And this is a more muted one because, you know, it took us all day to get this one set up because of me, always. But I really am excited with how we got, and I like that this set is modular. You know, we can go from this version to a brighter set. So we kind of set it up so that we could have this studio driven one and then this one that's, you know, a little more homey and normal and bright. But I'd have to make some camera adjustments for that. Personally, I like this a little better. And a big shout out to Ali Abdaal. He's not going to see this, but he's a huge YouTuber who encourages productivity and also did like studio set builds and stuff like that. But I really like his vibe, and that kind of inspired me to say, you know what, I want a calmer desk show. But I think at times we can also ramp it up, and I can just sit here and rant about something or anything. I think that everybody should have series. I think one of the things you and your marketing team want to be working on is figuring out what are the series that you can do over and over and over and over, just so that you can kind of feed the machine and feed the algorithm and get that into a system. Not all of it is about doing super creative things or trying to get lots and lots of viewers. So I recommend that everybody have some sort of dialogue show, just so that people can get an idea of who they are when, you're not performing. And also, sometimes we will do some performing in here, but everyone should have a show kind of like this, I think. So I think our generation, I'm in my 30s and older, are the only ones that still struggle with like this, looking at a camera and talking. Young people, they're great at this. They've been trained on their phones. They know how to do this. But for us older folks, we do have to make it into more of a comfortable style so that it's easy to have this sort of dialogue going forward. And it's just really important to be able to continually sit in front of a camera and say what you want to say, pour yourself a cup of tea, and have some fun. So yeah, that's kind of our introduction to Cup of Tea. And I guarantee no one's going to watch this one, because just so everyone knows, no one watches the first video. After you make 100, people will go back and watch the first video, but no one's going to be there for the first video. So thank you, nobody, for watching this, and I'll see you on the next one.